They were Hollywood royalty, a match made in tabloid heaven and hell. But behind the glamour, the passion, and the scandal, their love burned too hot to last. And when Ava Gardner said one brutal thing about Frank Sinatra, it cut deeper than any affair or betrayal. He never forgave her. Not even in the end. Ava Gardner and Frank Sinatra were the stuff of legend, two of the most magnetic, talented, and self-destructive stars of their time. When they came together in the early 1950s, the chemistry was undeniable. Ava was already a screen goddess, a sultry force of nature with a dangerous edge. Sinatra, on the other hand, was floundering, his career fading, his marriage to Nancy Barbado unraveling. But when Ava entered his life, she reignited both his passion and his ambition. Their love affair was volatile, electric, and doomed from the start. They married in 1951, and the world watched with equal parts fascination and horror as the glamorous couple waged emotional warfare in public and private. Their fights were legendary: screaming matches, slammed doors, broken glasses, and dramatic makeups. Yet through it all, there was a strange, almost toxic devotion. They couldn't live with each other, but they couldn't fully walk away either. But beneath the passion was deep pain. Ava later confessed that their relationship was riddled with mistrust, infidelity, and constant emotional whiplash. Sinatra's jealousy was overpowering, and Ava's independent streak only made things worse. She was a woman ahead of her time, fiercely free, unwilling to be controlled, and unafraid to speak her mind. And it was one of those moments of honesty that fractured Sinatra forever. In an interview years after their divorce, Ava was asked about her time with Frank. She paused, then said with startling candor, "He was only in love with the idea of me. Not me. Never me." Those words weren't just painful. They were damning. For Sinatra, who had poured his soul into winning her love and proving himself worthy, it was a betrayal deeper than any tabloid scandal. Friends say he read the quote and sat in silence for hours. Others claimed he tore up a letter he had written to her just days before. They had already divorced by then, in 1957, but Sinatra had never fully let go of Ava. He wrote songs with her in mind, drank himself into dark places remembering her, and reportedly kept photos of her in private corners of his home for years. To be dismissed so completely by the woman he had chased across continents and nearly destroyed himself for, it was a wound that never healed. Even after her death in 1990, Sinatra's bitterness remained. At her funeral, he reportedly didn't speak a word. He stood at the back, in sunglasses head lowered. When someone mentioned her quote again, Sinatra simply walked away. Their love story remains one of Hollywood's most iconic tragedies. Ava, with her fiery spirit and unapologetic honesty, never sugar-coated her truth. Sinatra, with his enormous heart and fragile ego, could give the world his voice, but never fully recover from heartbreak. What Ava said wasn't cruel, it was real. But for Frank, it was a truth too painful to forgive. So next time you hear Sinatra's voice trembling through a love song, remember this. Behind those velvet notes was a man haunted by a single woman's words, and the haunting love he could never truly let go of.